Hi everyone! So it has been a while. I'm sorry, for the next probably couple of months it's going to be really difficult for me to upload as much as I want to. A lot of stuff's going on. I will talk about it more in detail a little bit later, but anyway, I have been really working hard at cleaning up my house and decluttering and getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and I've been hanging on to my empties because I've been waiting to do my empties video, and I did end up decluttering like a pretty large garbage can full of stuff that I just needed to get rid of, and I decided not to hang on to it for the sake of talking about it in this video, but I have decluttered a ton. A couple of things I'll be talking about are things that I'm decluttering, and then there's a lot of things that I've finished over the last couple of months. So I thought that I would just speed through everything pretty quickly in no particular order, meaning that it's going to jump around from like skincare and hair stuff and makeup. I'm just gonna go through everything that's in the giant box at my feet, and that way when this is over I can dispose of everything because tomorrow is recycling day. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna try and breeze through some stuff, so if you want a little bit more information, feel free to ask me questions in the comments down below and I'll do my best to get back to you there. All right, I think that about covers it for housekeeping intro stuff. First, products. I moved the box to the table in front of me. I cleared some stuff off of it because I thought that it would just be easier that way to be diving right in here instead of constantly going to the ground. So the first thing I have here is a dry shampoo. This is from Living Proof. It's the perfect hair day dry shampoo. I love this stuff so much. This is my favorite dry shampoo. I have not repurchased it yet, but I will. I have a couple of other dry shampoos that I want to use first, and I figure might as well. It's the whole no buy thing, so why repurchase something when I have other things that I can use? That's the mindset I'm trying to get into, even though I really do love this and prefer this one because it's supposed to actually clean hair, eliminate oil, sweat, and odor, and I find that it really does because I don't like to wash my hair every day. I'm an every second day kind of hair washer, so having the dry shampoo really helps get rid of that oiliness and that greasiness that I especially get in my roots. It's really good to apply this before I go to bed when I know that I'm not going to shower in the morning, because morning showers rarely happen for me because I don't have the time for it. But that way, moving around at night, the dry shampoo really gets in there and really makes my hair look good. And I actually kind of prefer second or even third day hair with this dry shampoo because I feel like it gives it more body and more texture, and it's a lot easier to look at for me because I just hate the way my hair looks when it's freshly dried because it just looks so fried and like stringy, and I like second or third day hair better. I'll just stick with the hair stuff, why not? I have a shampoo and a conditioner from Redken. This is the Diamond Oil Glow Dry Gloss Shampoo. So it's for shine enhancement. I didn't really get the shine enhancement because I don't blow dry my hair. Because like, as I mentioned earlier, when I blow dry my hair, it just really looks super thin and frizzy. I don't get any kind of body or texture no matter what kind of products I use. My hair is just like flat, frizzy, looks awful. Like, I just really hate the way my natural hair looks, but I did enjoy using this shampoo and conditioner. It just didn't really make my hair look particularly like glossy or beautiful, but it was a good enough shampoo. I find Redken's pretty good. I generally enjoy Redken shampoo and conditioner. And I also had this little Redken Pillow Proof Blow Dry Express Primer. It's for saving time when you dry your hair. And I did use this a few times and tried it out drying my hair, and it found that it did make a difference. But it still didn't look great because I just don't have great hair to begin with. So I don't know why I mention that kind of stuff in these videos because I just hate my hair. It's the wigs, but anyway, it is something I finished, although I did finish a lot more hair products and I didn't keep them. These are kind of recent things that I finished, and I figured, why not? I have a foundation I finished. This is from Physicians Formula. This is the Healthy Foundation. I love this foundation so much. I have basically scraped out every last little bit of this that I possibly could. It kind of looks like there's more in here, but like I really have scraped the bottom of the barrel with this thing. I love it. My shade is LC1, so this is the lightest in the cool undertones, and it's such a good foundation. I miss it so much. I even like the weird doe foot applicator thing. I really enjoy this foundation. I find that it gives my skin that beautiful, healthy glow, and it looks natural. Like, it doesn't look like a lot of makeup on my face. That's the problem I'm having with some of the foundations I have left right now, is that some of them are either super dewy or super matte, or the wrong shade for me in most cases. And this one is a really good shade match for me, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. This is definitely on my list to repurchase once I have worked through some of my other foundations and I can actually justify having it, because I want to have this as one of my staple foundations, because I have not found anything else that looks like this on my skin, that gives me that natural looking, this is my skin when it's actually foundation kind of thing. So yeah, this is one of the highlights for me, one of the best foundations I've found in a long time. Another foundation that I finished and went through surprisingly quick, and it still looks like it's full. Like, it's so misleading. There's a lot of cat hair. You've probably already seen a lot of that anyway. This is the Too Faced Born This Way medium to full coverage foundation. This is the shade Snow. I love this so much and used it so much. It's such a full coverage foundation for me. Even though it says medium to full, I find that for me personally it's very full coverage, but it doesn't look like a mask. Like, some of the other full coverage really heavy duty foundations can look really mask like on my face, and I mean it does really camouflage everything, so you kind of have to build the other stuff back up again if you want to contour or whatever. But I really like the way that this made my skin look. I felt like even though it was full coverage, it hid everything, and it was really a good product for a blank canvas. Like, this was definitely something I loved using for filming, because that's what I like to do when I'm filming, is really have that blank canvas, super strong everything when it comes to makeup, because I feel like, well, one, I get to play around with it a little bit more, and two, it works a little bit better with the lights that I have. Sometimes I can be a little too heavy-handed with a lot of stuff, but sometimes I find that being a little bit heavier handed with certain things like base products just makes everything look a lot smoother and a lot better on camera. So this is something that I would repurchase as well, because the other things I have and I've tried I don't like as much. So this is another contender for repurchase at some point. I have a few things I'm decluttering because of pink eye, not because the products themselves gave me pink eye, but because I used them at the time when I had pink eye, and that's unfortunately my Sweet Peach palette and my Naked 3 palette. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos, but I wanted to hang on to them for a minute and just give them a proper send-off, because the Naked 3 palette was actually in my project pan pour, I was using it. I didn't think I hit pan on anything new. I was pretty close with a couple of shades, but I really love this palette a lot, so much so that I've actually wanted to repurchase it because I love this color scheme. I don't have a whole lot of shades that are like this, but I love these gray shades. I was using these gray shades a lot, but then with the pink eye, I was like, I didn't want to risk it and try and sanitize it and then reinfect myself. I've been really paranoid about that. And the Sweet Peach palette I was using, so sad. I love this palette a lot too, and I actually have a somewhat deconstructed Sweet Peach palette from my sister that's sitting in a drawer over there that I haven't really looked at, because I've been using all these other stuff. So I will probably dig that one out and see what I can use out of what she gave me, because I think she depotted a couple of the shades to keep for herself and she gave me the rest. So I will look at that, but I'm going to miss these palettes a lot. I've actually used them quite a bit, both of them, and I really enjoy both of them. So to say goodbye to them is actually really sad and kind of bittersweet, because these are some of my favorite palettes that I have. And I'm not going to run out and repurchase them because I have so much other stuff, but they will really be missed. And it's so unfortunate that I had pink eye and used them at the same time. Same thing with mascara. I tend to hang on to mascara way too long anyway. I have a few mascaras in here that I used around the time I had pink eye, because I was just like picking up a bunch of different stuff and playing around with it, and I'm just not taking the chance. This is from Too Faced. It's the Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, which I'm not even crazy about anyway, but I had that problem of hanging on to things. So trying to get better at that. So frustrating to get rid of stuff that you like. From Boscia, I had the Thermal Black Cleanser. So this is a facial cleanser, and it actually is a black liquid, and it really heats your skin up. It's so cool. I really loved using this. I would love to have a full size of this if I could justify it. I to no surprise, have so many cleansers, I really enjoy this though for the way that it makes my skin feel. I love products that warm or cool my skin. It might be a little gimmicky, but I really enjoy using it. It says that it's supposed to dissolve pore clogging impurities, oil, and makeup as it refines skin texture, brightens skin clarity, and minimizes the looks of pores over time. I just felt like it really cleansed my skin because it was really warm. I've used some of those thermal sort of heating masks before, and I felt like they really cleaned out my pores. So I really enjoyed using this and would love to have a full size at some point. I finished a little travel size of Fix Plus. I still have a full size. This is a staple product for me that I will always have regardless. I love Fix Plus. I use it for setting my makeup, and I also use it for foiling eyeshadows. That's the way I use it the most, but I will spray my face sometimes just to mesh everything together. I find that it works really well if I have some issues with my skin and I have to do the fairly heavy duty foundation and powder and concealer. And then I'll spray some Fix Plus on so it looks a little bit more realistic, a little bit more like skin. It's just this magical product that I cannot live without my Fix Plus. It sounds dramatic, but it's definitely one of those top 5 products that I just have to have in my life. All right, I have another foundation. This is a lot of foundations I've finished. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. This is 0.5, that's my shade. This is my 9th bottle of it or something crazy. I've gone through so many bottles of this foundation since it came out. I don't know how many years ago now, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't know. I average somewhere around 2 bottles a year of this foundation. This is a foundation that I truly love, although to be honest, the last little while I used it, I didn't love it quite as much. I feel like my skin has changed a little bit and I just don't enjoy using it as much in comparison to the MAC Water Weight Foundation. I feel like they're kind of similar in that they're both sheer coverage, lightweight foundations. Naked Skin can be built up a little bit more than the Water Weight Foundation, but I've liked a little bit more of a sheer coverage day to day. So this is more of a day to day foundation for me, plus it has SPF in it, and there is so much hair on everything. I'm sorry. I just really enjoy the Water Weight Foundation. My shade is NW13. This is my 2nd or 3rd bottle of the Water Weight Foundation. So I feel like when it comes to the summertime and I need my lightweight foundation again, I will go for the Water Weight over the Naked Skin at this time, because this is the one that I feel myself missing a lot when I go to reach for a foundation when I'm doing my makeup day to day and I'm like, oh, I want Water Weight, don't have it. Next day, I want Water Weight, and I keep going to reach for it and it's not there, and it's so sad. So I miss it so much. So this is definitely super high on my list to buy. Again, once I can justify it, once the stars align and I get a sign saying buy me, I'm gonna pick up another bottle of this because I just love the way that it makes my skin look. I just love how it covers up just enough. It evens things out, but still your skin texture and a little bit of redness and stuff still peeks through. So it's not like you are completely flat, flawless, and it looks a little like uncanny valley. So yeah, these are both foundations that I love, and I truly am ride or die for the Naked Skin, but I just think that I'm going to go with this one next time. Okay, I have a few things left, so I'm going to try and group the last few things together. I finally finished my Korres mattifying primer. This stuff is magical. I love it so much. This with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation is definitely one of my favorite pairings of all time, because even though this says it's a mattifying primer, I didn't find that it ever really mattified my skin. It's not like the Becca Ever Matte and some of the other matte foundation primers I've tried, like the Fenty. You know, the ones that really kind of suck all the moisture out of your skin and it really leaves you matte. I have combination skin, so I felt like this just really evened things out. It's more like a natural finish kind of primer, and it just works really well with a more lightweight, light coverage foundation, and I love it. I'm gonna miss it. I do miss it. I had a little sample from Estee Lauder. The little cap is missing. This is the Smoother Universal Perfecting Primer. It really is super silicone-y. That's what it felt like anyway. Like it reminded me a little bit of the Smashbox primer, the photo finish primer, but this one was smoother, and it left my skin soft, and like foundation glided on, but it wasn't greasy. Like some of these other smoothing primers I've tried leaves my skin feeling so greasy, and even after I put foundation on, nothing really dries down and it just stays like sticky and tacky. This left my skin smooth and soft, and foundation just went on so nicely, and it looked so good. So this is making me think twice about Estee Lauder, and I want that primer. I'm such a primer junkie. Like I'm a base product junkie. I'm a makeup junkie in general. I love all the things. The Too Faced Shadow Insurance, I had a full size of this. I used it and wasn't super crazy about it. I went back to my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This is the thing that works the best for me. I've gone back and forth trying the Too Faced and the Urban Decay for a long time. Some people live and die with the Too Faced. Some people are all about the Urban Decay, and I happen to be one of those people that's all about the Urban Decay. I found that my eyeshadow wasn't as bright and it didn't last as well with the Too Faced primer. The Urban Decay one, I find my shadow doesn't crease and it lasts until I take it off. You know, there might be a little bit of fading, but nothing near as dramatic as the Too Faced primer. So for example, same shadow, I would wear it to work with this primer underneath, and probably around 1 or 2 o'clock it would start to fade, and I would have applied it around 6:30 in the morning. With this, it would fade but slightly, but it would still look so good by the time I got home at, 5 o'clock at night. So this is just the thing that I find works the best for me, and I've already repurchased that one. That's another thing that's a staple for me alongside Max Fix Plus. And I have a little sample as well of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. So I did not like this when I used it before. I had another little sample size like this, and I threw it out because I thought it was breaking me out. And I wanted an oil to mix with a foundation. Like I really wanted something glowy, and I tried this and it was incredible. And then I used it on its own as a primer oil. So I skipped other primer and just put that on my skin and put foundation on top of it. And my skin looked so healthy and so glowy and just completely radiant and beautiful. I just could not get over it. And I want this so bad. I've almost bought it about 6 or 7 times. I keep looking at it, and before I announced my no buy, I was like, I'm gonna buy this before I start my no buy. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I kept wanting to, and then I just kept backing out, but it's such a beautiful product, and it really gives my skin that suppleness that I feel like it's missing in the wintertime when my skin gets so dry. And I felt like it really just completely hydrated my skin and made my skin look so much better than even some of the hydrating primers I was using and moisturizers. I felt like this oil worked magic. Like I felt like it took a few years off of my face. Like I was like, I look so much younger now. It's amazing. So yeah, I need this at some point. This is another thing. A lot of this stuff that I use is all stuff that's like, I need this in my life at some point, please. The Urban Decay Naked Skin Pink Corrector I finished. I have not repurchased this one yet. Have I? No, I have not repurchased this one yet, but it's on my list to repurchase. I use this underneath my eyes for color correcting. I do have a little jar of the Becca under eye corrector as well, and I have one of these ones in a peach color, which isn't great for me because my dark circles aren't super dark and I have lighter skin, so I feel like the lighter pink works better with my skin, and it really corrects that sort of bluish purple underneath my eyes from lack of sleep. I love my color correctors, and I skip concealer underneath my eyes because I feel like just color correcting does enough for me with foundation on top. So this is something I really like. There used to be a lot more color correctors available a couple of years ago, and they're starting to disappear, and it makes me sad because I live and die for my pink under eye corrector and a green color corrector. I don't know what I'd do without it. I finished the Glossier Boy Brow. This is, I had brown. So I think there's a couple of shades. They have clear and I think black and blonde. And I got this and I did not like it. I did not like it at all. A lot of people love this. So it has the tiny little spoolie, and it's supposed to make your brows look really full. I have terrible brows, so I thought it was gonna make my brows look good, but I was just looking at all like the Glossier models with their beautiful full eyebrows and thinking this is gonna work for me. No, I mean most of them already had beautiful brows without any kind of product at all. So this is more of a, if you already have good full brows and you just want a little bit of hold and maybe just like a slight bit of texture, this is a product for you. But that's kind of Glossier in general. It's very minimal makeup. It's not going to be anything dramatic. It's all very light coverage. I have the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set Volumizing Brow Mascara. This is a clear mascara. I loved this so much. This is a brow gel I would repurchase once I need a clear one again, because I felt like it really did give my brow some volume. Plus the brush is tiny, but it's longer. It's not like the Glossier Boy Brow, which is a little tiny spoolie. This is a longer, thinner one. So for someone like me who has pretty thin eyebrows, this is the best shape. And I felt like I could really comb through and really, you know, beef up my eyebrows a little bit and make them look a little bit larger, which is what I'm always trying to do with my eyebrows these days. I've been letting them grow out a little bit, but they're just growing out like weeds at the tails, which is the thing I had the problem with, which is why I was shaving the tails off, because they just grow like crazy at the ends, but I can't get them to like just fill out a little bit more. I finished a little mini of the MAC False Lashes Extreme Black Mascara. It was good. I have like 2 mascaras left. I've gone through a lot. I finished a Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner pen. I've talked about that a few times because I panned one before in a project, and I like it fine. It's fine. It's not the best thing. I do need a liquid liner at some point because I'm still using old samples of one, and I want a good one, but I can't find a good one. I can't settle on a good one. So, all right, I have just a small handful of products left. I did find another face primer in this box. This is from Power Effects. It's a blurring primer. This was decent. A decent primer. I felt like I needed a lot of product. I find that in general with the Cover Effects primers. Like, I know in general they always say like just use like a little teeny pea-sized amount, but I can't cover like half my face with that. I use a lot of primer, and I felt like I was using a tiny bit of this primer and it was just like sticking in one little spot, and I felt like I had to use a ton of product, more than I normally would, in order to cover my face, because I like to have primer all over my face because I'm afraid of breaking out. I finished the Fresh Rose Hydrating Eye Gel Cream. I did not like this. Gel products, kind of questionable for me. I'm really picky with my eye products as well. There's a few things I've tried and I've liked, and this thing I just felt like it stuck underneath my eye area and didn't really hydrate underneath my eyes. And all I'm trying to do is keep the creasiness at bay and really, like, you know, keep that under eye area supple, and that just didn't do it for me. The Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, I had a little small size of that I finished and love and will repurchase at some point. I know it kind of got overhyped for a while there, but it truly is beautiful. It really gives your skin that dewy look, and I would spray it on like a beauty blender type sponge and press it into my face sometimes, or I would just spray my face with it a little bit, and it really just brought such otherworldly glow to my skin. I've used a full size and I think 2 small sizes before, so this is a product I've used and I really do like. It works really well. I keep throwing things on the floor. Benefit Roller Lash Mascara in brown. Love this formula. Won't be repurchasing, kind of over Benefit. But the mascara wand is really nice and the product is nice, and I do need a brown mascara because it's nice to switch it up and not just have black. The Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in Distortion I finished. There still looks like there's product in here, but I scraped it. Like, it's just what's stuck to the side. This is the only glitter liner I don't have now, besides the limited edition ones from Christmas, and I love Distortion. It looks so cool with so many different shades. It just reflects so beautifully, and you get something a little bit different depending on what you have underneath it. So this is something that's pretty versatile for me. I love these liners. I like accent glitter in the inner corner, the lower lash line, and they're so good and easy for when you're doing those half cut creases to like trick people into thinking that you actually have like precision and maybe a little bit of talent. So I will be repurchasing that one at some point. Wow, if I bought every one of those things, I definitely would not be on a no buy. So the last thing I want to talk about is a setting powder from Becca. This is the Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. I finished this whole thing and it's one of the best powders I've ever used. I would occasionally use it all over my face if I was wearing like a really dewy foundation, something like the MAC Mineralized Moisture Foundation, something that's really glowy, or if I mixed a lot of oil into something, I would use this really lightly just to set portions of my face that might get oilier. But I loved it underneath my eyes. I felt like it really brightened, and it's not heavy. I didn't get creasiness or cakiness. Sometimes I notice with certain powders, like translucent powders that I'm panning, it will just get clumpy underneath my eyes, and it really is noticeable, and you get that sort of like crepey thing going underneath the eye, which is so cute. But this Becca did not do that at all, and it left my eyes looking so fresh and bright, and I loved pairing it with the under eye corrector. It was just such a beautiful thing. It was such a brilliant time when I had this, and I keep wanting to repurchase it, but again, I can't justify it because I have these other powders. I don't like them as much. Do really love this one, so at least I know the things that I do like at this point, and I feel like I've decluttered and worked through so much stuff that by the end of this year, the stuff that I don't want will be gone because I'll have panned it. You know, I don't mean stuff that I hate, but just stuff that I'm kind of so-so about, but I just can use. And then by the end of the year, I can buy the stuff that I want to have and not have as much stuff because I'm not playing around and trying stuff because I've tried so many things. So please don't discontinue this, Becca, because I need this. All right, that is everything for my empties. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns down below. As I said, I will do my best to get back to you. I'm sorry for the craziness and for the lack of uploads, and I hope it will get better. It's probably gonna take me a couple of months to get into a new routine, and you'll probably see a few new backgrounds at some point. Maybe sooner than later. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time, and thank you for coming along with me on this journey, hopefully. Anyway, I hope you are doing well. Let me know how you are doing, how life is treating you, and what kind of things you've finished lately. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.